Motivational interviewing is a counseling technique used and researched widely for more than 3 decades. While its original intent was a substance abuse counseling technique, it is now widely used to address behavior change in a variety of chronic diseases. A position paper by Pignataro and Huddlestone supports motivational interviewing as an approach that physical therapists can use to explore a person's ambivalence to behavior change. Additionally, it suggests physiotherapists are ideally positioned to intrinsically motivate individuals to change health behavior. MI has been described as a brief communication with the aim of increasing motivation for a person's self-identified change and then guiding the individual to confirm their commitment to that change. This technique may be a useful adjunct to encouraging an individual to articulate a perceived benefit of the identified behavior change, to express ways in which the change will positively impact their life, and it may move an individual towards resolving issues of non-action towards positive health behaviors. An important key to success with this approach is to remain non-judgmental throughout the interaction. This means the therapist needs to be respectful of the person's behavioral, social, and environmental factors that may impact their decisions and choices. Lecturing, scolding, shaming, and confrontation should be avoided. The health professional must resist the expert role, as human nature resists being coerced and told what to do. Motivational interviewing sessions are brief and last only 5 to 10 minutes. While each session is individualized based on the ideas generated by the person related to what is important to them and how they can address a given behavior change, there are 10 steps that are helpful in guiding the flow of the interaction. Step 1 involves initiating the topic with the individual. It is recommended you use open-ended questions to begin the conversation about the health behavior. Here is an example.
You mentioned that you're not sleeping very well at night. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
In step 2, the therapist explores the individual's reasoning behind their current behavior. An example of this may include asking the person a question such as,
what factors do you see that might prevent you from getting a good night's sleep?
In step 3, the therapist uses reflective listening. This includes providing a summary statement to reflect back to the individual the thoughts and feelings they have expressed regarding their current behavior. This may look something like this.
I can sometimes get myself into a pattern where I go to bed at the same time every night and get up at the same time in the morning. And then I sort of fall out of that and I start taking naps in the afternoon. And I can't get back to that pattern.
So it sounds like you're able to establish a good pattern, but maybe need some help to maintain it.
Yes.
Step 4 involves exploring the benefits of making a positive behavior change. In this step, the therapist again uses open-ended questioning to get the individual to articulate what benefits of changing the behavior may be. An example of this may be,
so what would be a good outcome for you if you got better sleep at night?
Like steps 1 and 3, step 5 uses reflective listening, in which the therapist provides a brief summary statement to reflect back to the person the thoughts and feelings being expressed about their reasons behind their current behavior.
I know I wouldn't nap in the afternoon if I didn't sit down and start watching TV.
So you're noticing that watching TV is a catalyst to you falling asleep?
Yes.
Steps 6 and 7 explore ambivalence. It is suggested the therapist use a 0 through 10 scale, with 0 being not important at all and 10 essential, to have the person rate how important the behavior change is to them, and then ask them why they did not rate the importance higher or lower. It is an important point in our discussion to talk about the trans-theoretical model as it relates to behavior change, as the therapist can match the strategy to the stage of behavior change. In the pre-contemplation stage, the person is not thinking about seriously making a change and is not interested in any kind of help. The therapist can let the person know to contact a healthcare provider in the future if they decide to consider a behavior change. In the contemplation stage, the person is considering making a change and may be considering the pros and cons. The therapist can use reflective listening to gently guide the person to consider the long-term benefits associated with the change. In the preparation stage, the person is actively planning to make a change within the next 30 days. This stage presents an opportunity for the individual to research and accept what it will take to make the major lifestyle change. In the action stage, the person has recently started to engage in the behavior. People in this stage also tend to be open to receiving help and are also likely to seek support from others. In the maintenance stage, the person has sustained the behavior for 6 months or more. In this stage, the person remains aware that what they are striving for is personally worthwhile and meaningful. Steps 8 and 9 explore and support the person's self-efficacy. In these steps, the therapist asks the person on a scale of 0 through 10, with 0 being not confident at all and 10 extremely confident, how confident are they that they can change? This is followed by asking why they chose that number and not a lower one. At this point, the therapist will reinforce if they have had some success in the past and discuss their willingness to consider the change of the behavior.
I like your idea of recording your TV show and watching it earlier in the day. It sounds like that really helped in the past.
Finally, step 10 guides the interaction towards exploring the person's future plans and ideas. In this step, the therapist encourages the individual to come up with solutions for themselves, but should refrain from trying to suggest solutions. If the person asks for suggestions, the therapist's response may be something like this.
You can certainly decide what would work for you, but if you'd like to hear some ideas of what has worked for other people in the past, I'd be happy to share them with you. Would you like to hear them?
Now that we have covered the steps, let's observe a motivational interviewing session.
Sue, I see from your intake form that you feel like maybe you're eating too much at lunch and you want to change that. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. I usually stand at my counter and I have a smoothie and a small bowl of salted almonds. I read while I'm eating. And sometimes if I haven't gotten to the end of the chapter, then I fill that bowl up again and I think I'm eating too many of those almonds.
Oh, okay. So what I hear you saying is that you think it's your lack of paying attention that is making you eat a little bit more.
Exactly.
Okay. What do you think some benefits would be for you if maybe you changed what you ate at lunch and maybe didn't eat so much of those almonds?
I know that salt is not good for my blood pressure, and I'm now on a blood pressure medication, so possibly if I eliminated some of that, it would help.
Okay, well, you're very educated on knowing that salt has a negative impact on your blood pressure, so that's great. We're gonna talk about how important it is for you to maybe make this change. And on a 0 to 10 scale, where 0 is it wouldn't be important at all to you, and a 10 would be that it would be really important for you, where would you put yourself on that scale about making this kind of change?
I would say a 7.
Okay, so why do you say a 7 and not a lower number?
I just started my blood pressure medication, and if I could do anything to help get off of it, that would be great.
Yeah, good thinking. All right, so now let's talk about your confidence in being able to make this kind of change. So on that 0 to 10 scale again, where 0 is you're not confident at all, but 10 is you're the most confident you could be, where would you put yourself on that scale?
I think I'm a 7 on that too.
Why did you say a 7 and not a lower number?
I'm confident because it seems like all I have to do is pay attention.
Okay. So do you have any plans in the future that you could have, like future plans of things that you think you might be able to change to help make this happen?
Yes, I could stop reading while I'm eating or find a book with shorter chapters.
While use of the motivational interviewing technique as an intervention does take practice, with repetition, it can become part of the therapist's routine approach to guide individuals towards positive behavior change. If you have questions or comments about this video, please reach out to Hop Up PT through our website contact form available on the Hop Up PT website.